China has received global flack and bad press in past few months. While its role in the spread of coronavirus is no secret, it has been systematically trying to secure both diplomatic and strategic upper hand with countries around the world. It has launched a multi-pronged strategy against its neighbour India in the same line. Its army, which holds dubious distinction for its extensive role in human rights violations and ethnic cleansing, killed 20 unarmed Indian soldiers who were headed in good faith to discuss the violation of agreement by Chinese side in Galwan valley of Eastern Ladakh.
These satellite images clearly expose the lie China and its People's Liberation Army has been speaking over its presence in the region. Presence of large number of fleets is also suggestive of the intent and plans Chinese army has been hatching. In a bloody massacre on the intervening night of 15th and 16th June, an unarmed group of Indian soldiers, which was headed in good faith for inquiry over re-emergence of Chinese camps in the Galwan region of India's Eastern Ladakh, suffered as many as 20 casualties after it met with the monstrous Chinese brand of betrayal. In a premeditated attack, hundreds of so-called soldiers of China's People's Liberation Army hurled barbed stones on Indian men and attacked them with nail-embedded wooden clubs. Although Indian retaliation was fierce and inflicted heavy damage upon the Chinese side, but this unprecedented aggressive provocation has exposed the nefarious agenda and deep insecurities of Beijing. The incident has also exposed the sheer unprofessionalism of PLA, which now appears nothing short of a group of illiterate roadside goons who have no regards for the norms and protocols. Indian Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi, under whose leadership the country has twice avenged Pakistani notoriety, reacted strongly to the incident and said, "India is a peaceful nation that holds enough valor and strength to give befitting reply to those planning to hurt its sovereignty."
भारत शांति चाहता है, लेकिन भारत उकसाने पर हर हाल में हर हाल में यथोचित जवाब देने में सक्षम है। जहां कहीं हमारे मतभेद भी रहे हैं, हमने हमेशा ही ये प्रयास किया है कि मतभेद विवाद न बने, डिफरेंसेस डिस्प्यूट्स में न बदले। हम कभी किसी को भी उकसाते नहीं हैं, लेकिन हम अपने देश की अखंडता और संप्रभुता के साथ समझौता भी नहीं करते हैं।
As a matter of fact, the Chinese aggression has grown many notches in the past few weeks. The principal reason being the growing Indian proactiveness in its border region along line of actual control. China has been unnerved by building of Indian infrastructure that will prevent it from making illegal intrusions in Indian territory. Recent build-ups in Galwan Valley were a result of growing Chinese frustration over the construction of around 250 kilometers Darbuk-Sheok-Daulat Beg Oldie Road in Ladakh, which will provide Indians an access to vantage points that have been used by Chinese for years against India. This road is opposite Aksai Chin Plateau that is already under illegal occupation of China. Experts believe that it is also due to India's major political decision vis-a-vis Jammu and Kashmir in past few months that China has become uncomfortable. It is also New Delhi's firm stance of not joining China's dream project of Belt and Road Initiative that has turned its core leadership against India. Beijing thinks India can now make a move to regain its territories in Aksai Chin and Gilgit-Baltistan, which will demolish its plans of Belt and Road Initiative and its flagship CPEC project in Pakistan.
When India improves its infrastructure, it becomes even more of threatening for China. So if you add all these aspects together, you will realize that China will try to do its utmost. It will use all options there to not enable India build infrastructure, but the fact remains that China is an occupier in Aksai Chin, in Gilgit-Baltistan, and now is trying to intrude into Ladakh.
Even after several rounds of senior generals level talks and a telephonic conversation between the foreign minister of two countries culminating on a positive note, the Chinese have refrained from de-escalation and have in fact increased troops at major points. India too has ramped up construction on its side. The key and the only Indian objective behind the construction of the road reach is to transport man and material at a greater speed in future. Communist China, on the other side, has a history of occupying territories. Its false claims and subsequent occupation of others' land and water is known to all. Whether it's Vietnam, Tibet, or South China Sea, even a limited read of history tells it all about the cruel and expansionist China. And then it comes up with the barrage of lies and excuses for its actions. While it has unleashed army and suppressed its opponents when they are weak, the tone changes with an equal and even braver rival.
目前，中印边境地区的形势总体是稳定的、可控的。相信双方能在两国领导人重要共识精神的指导下，妥善处理当前事态，共同维护好边境地区的和平与稳定，推动两国关系健康稳定发展。
China may have fed a one-sided narrative to the whole world through its paid media propaganda. Its army is well aware of the history when Indian Army gave it a bloody nose in 1967 despite a less sophisticated weaponry. And today, when New Delhi commands one of the strongest armies of the world with a robust nuclear arm, it is bound to get spooked. And India has made its foreign policy clear in the past few years. While a proposal of peace will be embraced with open arms, aggression will be retaliated with double the force.